going to ask one last question. I know you do this conference, which is fabulous. There's no advertising. You also do a podcast, which is, has been really, really good about connecting people and figuring out marketing and such. And then you have a meetup. You used to do a meetup. Do you still have a meetup? Okay.
Yeah, we did it last night. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So which one would you do? If you had to choose one of those, which one would you do? Which one would be it? Which one would you recommend somebody do? Well,
Awesome.
let's talk about for you.
Well, I want to answer the question. For me, it doesn't matter. Again, this is not about me. This is about the audience. So here's what you need to do. First and foremost, you have to do a quick assessment of yourself and your own strengths and be honest. Ask somebody else if you don't know. Okay. There's different skill sets and different things that come about, each different pathway. First of all, I would not do a conference. If you are newer into the space, if you don't have a thought leadership platform already, a conference is the hardest thing because you have to sell tickets. You have to get all the speakers. You've got to coordinate everything. Unless you have an events background, I wouldn't do that. And right now, with everything being virtual, it's tough. I mean, I know a lot of power players who are having a hard time filling seats for their conferences right now. So I would not do that. Let's put that on the shelf. So let's talk about a podcast, a blog, or a meetup. They're three different things. Okay. I believe there's right around 1 million podcasts right now. So that may sound like a lot, but it's not. It's actually the smallest number, a medium basically that's out there. So launching a podcast is a great way to get your word out there. Podcasts are one-on-one. So even if you're shy, even if you don't want to be on stage in front of people, any of that, a podcast is a great one-on-one way to talk to people. Their production is laborious. So if you don't have the budget to hire that out, that can be kind of hard to do. A meetup is great because just like this, you can host, you can get in front of people, and you can connect. So if you are a natural connector, and if your goal is to build your network, that's a great way to do it. If your goal is to simply educate and connect and build a bigger brand, maybe I would lean more on the podcasting side. They both take patience. When I started my meetup, I remember the third one we had, there was a snowstorm and only 4 people showed up, in Chicago, right? So 4 people showed up to my meetup. And it was actually one of the best meetups we ever had. So one guy ended up being my investor. Another one ended up becoming my underwriter. And a third guy, ended up doing some other deals with me on the side. So 3 out of 4, that's 75% conversion rate is, phenomenal. So you have to take advantage of those small groups if you have them. The podcast took a while as well to build, but it helps to build credibility. And it's a great platform if you're looking to connect with people, leveraging credibility. We don't have real time for it, but I'll go back to marketing. If you think about brands that are looking to build their credibility, a lot of times they align themselves with a sponsorship, right? They might go get a big superstar to endorse their brand or product. Well, doing a podcast is kind of similar, right? If you can go out and get an investor with $1 billion portfolio, even if you've never done a deal, but you can go get a guy with $1 billion portfolio on your podcast, what happens is now you start to borrow a little bit of their credibility because you were able to bring them on your show. They're loaning you a little bit of their credibility. In return, you're supposed to broadcast and promote them. But what happens is your network now sees you as someone who has the ability to connect with someone of that level of influence, with that level of success.